Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought about, man, I should be further along than this by now? You know, you worked hard, you struggle, but it seems things are just not quite working out. But in this video, I want to tell you that it doesn't have to be like that. You don't have to struggle. You know, if you looked around and you notice that people that started out with you, people that are in your same age range, they're struggling, they're seeming to they're not struggling like you are seemingly like you are. They're doing well. Their lives are seemingly apparently doing well. Their families are fine. They take vacations. The kids are doing well. The marriages are doing well. They have the trappings of success, and here you are struggling and seeing you know that you're behind on your bills, and your wife's looking at you crazy, like I thought you were going to do all this, and things are not quite working out. Or even your husband's looking at you, if you're the wife, and things are not quite working out. You know, you don't have to do like that. You don't have to live like that. I don't want you to struggle. I don't want you to feel like you're falling behind. You know, that's what happened to me. You know, like I said, I'm a business owner, and I've had colleagues that start out just like I did when I was early in my practice career, and now several years later, they're doing well, which is great. They're giving money to the school. They're setting up scholarships at the school in their name, and they're donating, and they have all the trappings of success: the houses, the cars, the Teslas, all those kind of things, if that's what you want to call success. But here I am, having filed bankruptcy several times, having lost my license. I've gotten it back, but um, luckily no marital problems or anything like that. But I've been through struggles, and I've been looking around saying, man, it feels like I'm failing because all my colleagues are guys that I know are doing well. You get invited to reunions like I have, and I don't want to go because I know my friends are going to show up, in their Maseratis and their nice cars, and I'm going to get off the bus or get out of an Uber or something to go to a reunion because, in truth, I don't have those things. I've been practicing as long as they have, and they're doing well and great for them. I'm not in any way jealous. If someone works hard and they're ethical and do a good job, fantastic. But I look around in my life and say, man, my life compared to theirs is horrible. And I know you shouldn't compare yourself to either one because you're comparing your weakness to their strength. I know all about that. But I'm just saying this video is about you. It's not about me. If you feel like some kind of way you've missed it or you're falling behind, you don't have to feel like that. There's certain things you can do. One thing you can do is like Jim Rome said, one of my people who I follow, I read, I listen to his teachings. He said you should work harder on yourself than you do on your job. What does that mean? That means whatever you do for a living, whatever it is, either you're professional or non-professional, doesn't matter what it is. You give someone 8 hours, they give your business 8 hours. When you come home or when you're away from the business, spend time developing you. Spend time reading, listening, even things as terrible as exercising. I know you don't want to hear that, but exercising and diet plays a big difference in the way you feel about yourself and your motivation to improve your situation. So, in addition to reading and learning and gaining more skills, whatever craft you have or whatever you're interested in, learn all about that. Read all about that. Learn everything about it that you're interested in. Get really good at that. Get really knowledgeable about that. Also, as I said before, exercise. Exercise is powerful. It gets your mind off of yourself. It gets your mind out of your situation, and you can begin thinking about things. Diet is important as well. So again, just to me to you, don't sit around and wallow and look at everybody else. Oh, everybody else is doing successful, and I'm getting older. Maybe it's not for me. That's not true. Success is for everyone who reaches for it. So I don't want you to give up on anything. I don't want you to feel like you can never make it because you can, but it's up to you. I can't do that for you, but I can tell you from personal experience, I've had that. I've gone through that. I've had feelings of inadequacy and seeing all my classmates do well, and here I am filing bankruptcy several times. Yes, I filed bankruptcy several times, more than once. Um, but I tell you, it's not the end of the world. This is what I did. I struggled. I was looking around, looking at everyone else. But it wasn't until I started reading and listening to mentors like Jim Rome and Myron Golden and people like that and start following what they said, I even started reading the Bible more. Now, I'm not here to convert you or teach you anything about that, but I believe the Bible has a lot of information on overcoming, and it has a lot of information about you get success by serving others. In addition to believing in God and things like that, which is really important, you also get success by getting your eyes off yourself and looking toward others. So I started reading the Bible. I started listening to Myron Golden. I started listening to Jim Rome. And you'll be surprised if you stay with it. That's the secret. You have to stay with it. You just can't read it and say, oh, I read those things. And a month or two have gone by. My life hadn't changed. That's a trap. You have to stay with it. You have to turn off the TV, turn off social media. Well, not this channel, but turn off the TV and all of that and start doing things to benefit you and your family. And you can make it. That's my tip for today. Don't look around and think that it's not going to happen to you or it can't happen for you, because it can. It only can if you believe it and if you take action. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Listen, that's my tip for today. Go down to the bottom and like and subscribe to this channel. I'll speak on failure and overcoming failure and persevering and receiving your goals after many struggles, because that's what I did. I'm not where I am, where I want to be in life, but I'm taking the steps. So I'm telling everyone who listen what you can do to get out of the situation you're in and start progressing to where you're going. So that's what I have for today. Put a comment in the description if you have anything about the video you like or dislike. That's fine. I take criticism. I've learned from Marvin Golden, if no one's criticizing you, that means you're not really doing anything. So I'm trying. So I'm trying to get your life better by telling you to avoid the minefields that I've stepped in. So that's my tip for today, and I'll see you next time, okay? Thanks. Bye.